Okay, today we are going to talk about how we do a C.O.W. in class. So C.O.W. stands for Critique of the Week, so it's a C.O.W., hence C.O.W. Whenever we do one of these, there will be an image of it hanging on the wall here in the classroom. It will be on canvas as well, where you'll just have the image and then you'll have the description of the image. So this one is by Carolyn Brady. It's called Delphiniums and Roses on Glass. And say it was done in 1985. It's a watercolor on paper, and it's 60 by 40 inches. And that measurement is important because a lot of times when we see a reproduction of an image, it is usually smaller than what it actually is. So this one here is significantly smaller than the real one. So you want to take into consideration the overall size of an image to see how it's going to impact you when you actually look at it. Now when we write our C.O.W., it's going to be 2 paragraphs. And you say, well, Mr. Gast, well, why do we need to write in art class? You say, well, because when we write about stuff, because it allows us to be able to talk about our own artwork better. If you can talk about somebody's artwork that's famous, that is something that is separated from you, it will allow you to get the tools that you need in order to talk about your own artwork. Because talking about your own artwork can be very difficult because usually it's very personal to you and you know what it means, but it can be difficult for you to verbalize what it is. So this is kind of allows you to talk about more of the details and the specifics of the things that are in the images. So the first paragraph should be describing what you see, okay? And you want to be descriptive. You don't just want to say, it's a bunch of flowers on a table. That's not going to cut it. You want to say, there are 2 vases, it's on a glass table, there's a variety of flowers. I see pink, red, orange, and yellow, and violet flowers. They're in a room of some sorts. You can see the glass through it in the background. You can see that there is some depth to it. So it's not just a still life sitting on a table. It actually has some depth where it goes back beyond. It's asymmetrically balanced to where we can see more on the side here. It's heavy to this way. And there is a variety of colors. Now, when we talk about this, we want to use the elements and principles of design. So we talk about, we want to say, talk about the line, talk about the shape, talk about space, color, texture, value. And then the principles: balance, emphasis, movement, pattern, repetition, proportion, rhythm, variety, and unity. So use those things to say, how it all carries together, and say, the image flows very well. It goes from the top and it fills the page. It uses it well, even though it is asymmetrically balanced. It works well on the page. Okay? So as far as repetition, we've got some flowers are repeated across it, and then we've got multiple flowers of the same kind going vertical, and that helps carry our eye up through the page. Okay? And then the second paragraph is whether or not you like it and why. And this one can be a little bit tricky because there's usually something about every image that we like. There's never an image, or I should say rarely an image, where you just hate everything about it. Okay, so there's usually something. So it can be difficult. But I enjoy this image. It's very, and so we want to say why you like it. And you say, oh, I like it because it's flowers. That's not going to cut it. Or if we were looking at the old guitars, say I like it because it's blue. That doesn't cut it either. So say I enjoy this image. The flowers are fairly realistic. They're somewhat stylized. It uses the page really well. There's a lot of color to it. It's not just bland. There is a lot to look at because you don't just look at it and see everything instantly right away. If you look at each individual flower, you can see a little bit more details. There's interesting things going on down here in the bottom with the knife and the water spilled on the table. And just trying to decipher what's going on. There's a little bit of ribbon over here. So really talk about the things that you see and why you actually like them. Okay? So 2 paragraphs. First paragraph should be about 4 sentences. The first sentence should describe the image. So say, I'd say, I am talking about Delphiniums and Roses on Glass by Carolyn Brady. And then what you see in it. And then second paragraph, why you like it or don't like it. If you don't like it, that's fine, but you need to be able to justify why you don't like it. Okay? So that's all for our C.O.W. So good luck.